Alright, I've been waiting to do this for a while now. Because I was waiting for the class to come in. The shirts in the class. By the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not saying the class is bad. In fact, it is my favorite class that I have so far. It's the animations are just amazing, and I love how versatile it is. And I'm supporting it. I'm doing damage. I've even got a taunt. I thought I'd give a perfectly accurate class guide for Legion Paladin and let you know if it's worth it. Because a lot of people say, if the shirts ain't worth it to you, they don't get it. But there's some people out there that don't want to farm Void High Lord, and they don't exactly want to spend $100 for an Iodoa. So, yeah, well, this is a good option because you get two nice shirts on top of it. I thought, that the shirts might look a bit strange on me because, like it just, I didn't think it'd be proportional in my body, but they look good. I made it look good, or they just look good on me. I don't know. They're nice. This class is fantastic. So I got on basic enhancements because, not everybody has forge enhancements. I've got the forge enhancements, but I kind of want to give a base raw set of damage. I don't want any boosters or anything. I don't want my cape to affect it. I don't want Vainglory or anything. This is just raw stats. Some cooldown. So I've got hate hybrid on the class. That's an unpopular opinion, but a bit of extra endurance helps. And it gives me a bit more cooldown. So your base stats cooldown reduction is 32%. You get a really good hit chance. Your attack and spell power should be about balanced out. That's how you want it to be in. You get crit chance 25%, but that will go up exponentially as you fight. Evasion chance 25%. Crit multiplier to be 2-3 in. That'd be a bit higher if I had more luck from the class. So you could hit higher. This is just how I personally prefer to use it. So class over. I got rid of it entirely. So we have Desecration. Souls last 10 seconds, stacks to 20, and they're used by your other ability. And this is based on your attack power and spell power. So this is using both, which is, why it's a hybrid slash luck built class. Now, usually when I try to start off a fight, I'll hit, if it's a boss I can pretty well survive, I'll, just trying to get damage. I'll start with one, I'll just hit a basic attack, then right away hit the heal, and then go into 2, 4, 5, so I can start regenerating mana right off the bat, and I can kind of build my stacks up so I can get more damage out. So we got the first skill, which is Blasphemous Axe. It's got a pretty short cooldown. It's all long ranged. That's one thing it has over VHL. There's a few things it has over VHL, but every skill is long range. VHL, I think it's just 3 and 5. Yeah, the two shackles don't. They don't have range. So we have an infused battle axe being swung at the target. You're swinging it, and it has souls infused within. That's already nuts. So dealing increased damage for each soul you have, while also granting you a soul. Keep in mind that every skill except for your heal gives you a stack in every skill. So if you have spirits, which is given by the third skill, the heal, that converts your souls into spirits. That's why I also said start with a basic attack, then heal, so you can get these extra effects right off the bat. So if you have spirits, it applies to file, which reduces the haste, crit chance, dodge, outgoing damage, all by 30%. It's 5 seconds, but the spirits last long enough so that you can stack it twice. So if you want to keep these effects going, by the way, then you would want to essentially, keep this up and keep your heal going because the spirits last 10 seconds and you're always going to have souls. And like right after you heal, you're going to get another soul from a basic attack. You're going to get it from your blasphemous axe. But just thought I'd mention that. This is a hybrid skill. And I think everything is a hybrid skill. It is. It's Soul Converter heals 7 friendly targets. I think that might include yourself, so 6 and then yourself. So this is a pretty decent heal because it's guaranteed to crit and it converts up to 10 souls into spirits, but it doesn't matter how many spirits you really have. Like you just need one spirit and you can kick off all your extra effects. But that is why I start with a basic attack and hit that too. It's a really good way to keep your mana up high and start dumping some damage out. It also gives you and your allies just a raw 30% increase to damage resistance. It's always a critical heal, so you're always going to be healing to full, unless, you have like Vainglory or something on that would reduce your healing intake. This is a good heal, man. It's only 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I love this class, man. So we got Incantation of Sin, which has one of the nicest, um, skill animations I've seen in Adventure Quest, and it's just so simple. It's just, I'm gonna show the animations for each skill one by one. I'm gonna show you the heal now because it's the only one that doesn't have a unique animation. I would have liked to have seen something Legion pop up through the heal, but that's okay. So it deals increased damage for each soul you have, while also granting you a soul. This is your Ultra boss skill. So if you're fighting an Ultra that locks your skills, you might want to think twice as to whether you want to get rid of this skill or not. Because it just depends on if you need that focus. So if you have spirits, which you get from your rank 2 skill, your heal, it'll apply focus for 4 seconds. That you probably know what focus does by now. Forces targets to attack only yourself. But it also applies safeguard for 2 seconds. So that first attack that they put output on you, unless they've got their haste uh jumped up to infinity, um, that will reduce the damage you take based on only your attack power, not your spell power, just your attack power. So keep in mind that if you really want to take advantage of that, which really it's better off played hybrid luck, then you can do that. But that is an option. You can kick off a taunt. So we have the rank 4 passives. The first one being Heretic's Armor, which increases your endurance by 100% and damage resistance by 30%. So it makes you take even more damage. It makes you tanky. It's bread and butter. Now, Profane, you increase your hit chance by 20% and haste by 10%. So you're not going to be missing as often. You're going to be pretty accurate throughout your fights. Now, I don't think there's any guaranteed damage on this class, but you got a pretty good chance of landing your skills. Rank 5, and this is your big shot. It's the big boy, Shadow Blight. So with the cooldown, it's probably about 11 seconds. I want to say if you max your haste to be 9 seconds. So this is a long range attack, one target. Combine your light and dark powers to create a devastating spell, and dealing increased damage for each soul you have, while also granting you a soul. So you get souls from everything except for your spirit conversion, which is your healing. Um, if you have spirits, though, it'll apply Shadow Blight to your target, which is a DOT. It's pretty hefty DOT, which reduces their dot resistance and their damage resistance for 15 seconds. So essentially, if you are cycling through your heal properly, you can play raw support. Maybe you're not the total damage in the team, but you're doing a great amount of damage while also putting on a nice DOT resistance while forcing targets to attack you, while reducing their damage, haste, crit, dodge, etc. More, you gotta heal. You, for what is there on this class that is not worth the money? You're covering many bases right now. So if you're really not that power hungry and you can handle not being the most damaging character in your party, no big deal. you got the support. But this skill does do a lot of damage. And you're rank 10, when you apply Blasphemous Battle Axe, it puts Soul Infusion on the target for 10 seconds, which increases your crit chance for each soul you have at the time of application. So, Blasphemous Battle Axe puts a stack of soul. It increases your crit chance for each soul you have. So every other skill is also going to build up for the next Blasphemous Battle Axe. So let's say you heal them, you convert them to spirits. Let's say you have like 15 spirit or 15 souls, you heal, it'll drop it to 5. If you didn't heal, that 15 would have gave you 75% crit chance, which is guaranteed at that point. If you heal, it'll knock you down to 5. So at the time when you use Blasphemous Battle Axe, it would be 5. So you would get 25% crit chance increase. It's still really good. And don't get me wrong, like if you're at max stacks, it is no problem popping that heal right before a battle axe lands because you're still gonna be basically guaranteed a crit. Now I'm gonna show you guys some of the skills. Auto attack is basic as it comes. That was actually a health band right there. And here's my ooh, that beautiful battle axe. And that's a nice looking skill. Like I know it's just a swoop of the axe, but it's just a beautiful axe. You've already seen the heal. Let's get me some spirits while I'm at it. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure to get rid of all my spirit or my souls and to show you the base damage. That's my favorite one. The my incantation favorite skill by far. Which is what's awesome, right? And with the little symbol, you can just imagine that fire coming out of your hand. It's just amazing. And yeah, the last skill, Shadow Blight. It's like this big explosion of skeletal doom. This isn't a this isn't a Doom Knight class. It has nothing to do with the culture. But as you can see, this class can do pretty well on damage while giving you support. So I'm gonna get rid of my stats and kind of show you guys what a minute's worth of damage can do. And I'll let you know my rotation once this wears off because I want it to be exact. So when I start, I always go 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. Preferably, I like to get out, like a basic attack per skill, but that's just me. You can mash it too if you want. But this is what I do. I go 1. Oh, I missed. So I'd have to redo it. Then I'd hit my basic attack, then my 4, boom, and 5, and I'd rinse repeat. Then I'd pop my 3 just to get mana back, and that's when you start going ham. Because every time at the time, however many souls you have, that soul infusion boosts your crit chance. So you're basically guaranteed a crit at that point. Now let's do the damage test and show exactly how much damage we're getting out. So I think I got rid of all my souls. Okay, so battle analyzers here. 1, 2, 3, go. Boom. Bada boom. Peanut butter jelly. Doesn't look too good right now. Don't get me wrong, but that's gonna change very rapidly. And I don't have forge enhancements on right now, so there's even more damage I could do. You want to mix in that heal one at an ideal time. An ideal time would typically be when your two more powerful skills are on cooldown. So I go bam, get me a heal one. So I get that mana back and your health back if you need it. And then I'm gonna start throwing in some skills. Keep in mind again though, there are no damage boosting weapons on me whatsoever, and if you use the luck on the class, you'd be doing more damage. So I could be doing more. That's just a choice of mine, man. But you can do more. Huh? Don't don't think this is. I'll show you guys how good it really gets when you start mixing in foraging. I have apotheosis. This is a 51% increase. That's not a very impressive number. But when you start throwing in different enhancements, I could put luck on, but just know if you do it, it's gonna boost your damage a little bit more. I'm just showing you guys how I play it. So I'm gonna start with my one and my three. Yeah, go. Boom, man. Yeah, I get my crit chance. And you're gonna notice that there's an exponential difference um between my first set of stats and my second set. 'Cause first of all, you got smite throwing in an extra chunk of damage, and secondly, I get 51% more. This is what people would be expecting to see more so. Like, I think everybody out there has at least a 30% damage increasing weapon. I was just kind of giving an example, and even then, I wasn't spamming like I could have been. Like, I could have got my stacks as fast as possible, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show everybody kind of what they can do with it. 7,000. Now, keep in mind, um, you will lose durability, but if you're doing this solely for the purpose of doing damage, fighting the boss that you think you can handle because you've got so much damage resistance. Keep in mind, damage resistance, like physical damage resistance, has a cap. So it caps out at 80%, and that's no cap, my friends. There's no cap, but there is a cap. So when you look at your stats, it goes 60%. Now, when you use this fourth skill with spirits, it will give you this um this attack reduction and damage taken as extra. So if you can reach 80%, like let's say with the party and an ultra, that also increases your durability. Yeah. So you can have 80% and then add on your attack power to your resistance. And I'm not gonna lie, that's awesome, man. You can reach above 80% damage resistance. I love this class, man. Like, it, would I say it's worth it? I'd say it's worth it. Like, it's expensive, but if you're invested in the game like I am, then yeah, it's worth it. Because Void High Lord, I have done the damage tests. And I'm gonna, I'm gonna set myself up with the most damaging setup that I can think of. Right? Yeah, I know. So I'd put on my helmet to give me more haste. So I'm at 39% and it reduces the mana consumption. This helmet really helps and really helps. Now, I could get more damage. I could use like I could use my Vainglory cape that'll give me 40% damage in total. Use my Dragon Blade and I'll kind of give you guys an idea of how high the damage can get there. Oh, and don't forget, you do want to use your two skill before you use your 4 and 5 consecutively. So when you're getting ready to use your skills, make sure to cycle through it properly. So when you use your 1-3 to get your mana started up, get the party started, you wanna that cover that 2 every time you use your 4 or 5. So right off the bat with the fight, I hit 2 basic attack for 2 then 5, because I wanted to get those stacks up. I'm sorry, I'm talking, I'm not even fighting it. Now, Soul Infusion is still keeping my crit chance really high. If I go bam, 123%. That's just nuts. And like the fact that you can go way above the cap just by yourself. Like they need red crits in this game. Like I used to play a game that had like red criticals. I'm gonna stop at a minute 30 just so people can kind of get an idea of what it can do. But I'm hitting 80,000. You know that's with smite. But there's other forge enhancements you can use. Just keep that in mind. And with this helmet, 12,426. With this helmet, it gives me enough cooldown reduction to where I really don't need to use my heal as much for mana, but you still need to use it when you need heal. And for those who are wondering where to find this shop, you go to Book of War, you go to your badges and Hero Mark badges. See, I got the Legion t-shirt, this the Legion Paladin, and the Paladin t-shirt. Paladin t-shirt has the collab Volga cheer. Personally, you'd want the if you're doing this just for the classic, get the Paladin first because it's got 3 nice looking collab bolds, and I love this half an armor. I it I actually that got a couple laughs at me the first time I saw that. And the Legion Light of Destiny is on the Legion side on top of Dark Legion Paladin, which I think it looks like a good armor. I just thought I'd wear my signature look for the video, but I love it. The set they have. Oh, that's not my book of lore. Then we have Legion Paladin. Class and armor. Lots of helmets. You can kind of pause it or slow the video down if you need to see everything here. The cape looks kind of nice. I thought the cape looked nice and it actually matches this outfit almost. Oh, I thought I'd also show Void High Lord in comparison. Now Void High Lord, since they get their they get maxed out on cooldown and every time you use a shackle, I'm switching helmets and so there is a bit of discrepancy there. It's not the exact same equipment, but this is basically the same equipment. So I'm gonna show you guys what it can do in a minute and 30 seconds. Let's get the party started. Void High Ward is going to go higher because it was built primarily for damage and selfish heals and just to keep itself alive. I actually did not crit my smite or my nuke. Again, my damage should be higher, but as you can see, we're already just about where Legion Paladin. There we go. We're starting to get there. And this is just trying to get that damage. There it is, 13,000. So, um, there's a fellow that did a YouTube video on this class and Legion Paladin. He said that it was, um, not to quote, but far for par. Legion Paladin is Void High Lord. That is not even it in the slightest. Like, Legion Paladin does a very good damage. They're a good support, but you just can't keep up with this damage. I don't even have Dauntless on. So this is without Dauntless. This is just Smite on my nuke. I'm doing 15,000, and that's just going to keep going up as I get crits. Minute 30 seconds, 15,000 over 12,000. So you can see it's a bit different, but if you don't have Void High Lord or really good support class, I'd say it's worth getting. It's worth getting just for the cool fact. and the fact that the class is good. Like personally, I like the shirts. I got the class. I wanted both. I wanted the shirts and the class. I got them both, and it was. Let me tell you, I think it was worth it. Like of all that money I shelled out, it was worth it. It was very well worth it. Um, yeah, I'd say go with all luck enhancements if you want damage. If you're gonna use a forge enhancement, use what's comfortable for you. Don't use what I used if you wanna get more cooldown or if you wanna be more tanky, you could throw hard beyond it. Lose a bit of stats, but you'll be at 6,000 health. That's a whopping number. You could throw on avarice, you could throw on absolution, do whatever works for your play style. Just just don't put any extra crit chance on it. You don't need it. You don't need it. So I can't remember what that cape's called, but gives you I think is it penitence? But it gives you crit chance. Don't put that on there. It's not worth losing haste. I mean, your base damage would be good, like right off the bat, because you'll be critting more, but it's not worth it. It's gonna be a long video. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd go more in detail. And if you're wondering, yeah, it's worth it. Have a nice day, everyone.